Hello and welcome to Profit Channels. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. Please consider this video entertainment. Today I am talking about RSPH. It's a healthcare, Invesco healthcare ETF, 0.63% dividend yield, and exposure is North America and Europe, mostly North America. Before we get going, this is a chart of RSPH divided by the S&P 500. And if I go to a monthly, you can see that we have never been this far below right now. And so we're starting to form a bullish monthly candle. We'll see how this week plays out. We'd like it to see this candle finish the week above the midpoint line for a more bullish perspective. But, this is a max distance ever from our moving averages. And it's a pretty good, interesting spot for healthcare to start performing better versus the S&P 500. So here is a monthly chart of healthcare RSPH, or ETF. And you can see we have a nice channel with a strong-ish midpoint line. We've just been bouncing off this 50-month moving average. When we come down, recently we've broke below it and then bounced back up, and now we've broke below it, tested our channel, and are coming up and trying to break through our 50-month moving average. So hopefully we'll see this just break through this moving average on the monthly chart. On the weekly, you can see through time that we've bounced off the 100, came down to the 200-week moving average, and we had a nice run up. And then here in 2000, we broke below the 200, and then we had this incredible run. You can see here, bounced off the 200, had a nice run, broke below, had a longer run. So here we are now, and you can see we broke below all of our moving averages, and we banged against the 200, broke above, and now we're pinballing right now between the 50 and the 1 and the 200. So bounced off, came down, bounced off, trying to go up. So pretty bearish weekly candle. If I go to the day, we can see that since we broke down, we fought with the 50, fought with the 100, broke down, came up, broke through the 200, and then broke back down. And we're trying to push up, back up above this 200 here. So we'll see how tomorrow plays out. We do have a gap down here, but we got an upward pointing 50 sideways for the 100 and slightly downward on the 200. I'm going to get rid of our moving averages and go back to the weekly. And you can see here, we have this medium-term channel with a nice midpoint line. And you can see our point of control here. But if I back up, so we've been just climbing, COVID, climbing, and really for the last 4.5 years, we've been moving within this range and not doing anything. So that's why, S&P's been going up and healthcare's been staying flat. So this is what that looks like when you divide healthcare by the S&P 500. Back to the weekly. You can see we have a downward channel like this and potentially an upward channel like this. Let me hide these channels. Now here's where I think it gets interesting. So I'm going to do a retracement from this COVID bottom to the very top. And you can see how these lines are really pretty going through time. So here's the 236, lots of touches. We're bouncing off that right now up to our point of control on the short term. This 382 is really pretty. You see the 0.5, the 618, and the 786. So really pretty lines. Let's see. Okay. Now if I hide that and I do a retracement from the bottom of this channel to the top of the channel, you can see we're bouncing off we went hit the 786, then bouncing off the 0.618, and now we're fighting with the 382 right here and trying to break above that. But if I put both retracements up, you can see the 382 is the 1, the 2, 3, 6 is the 618, the 618 is the 1618. So we've got a lot of good overlap. Now, if I get rid of these, and I do an extension from the bottom here to the top here to the bottom here, you can see that right now we're bouncing off the 382, broke above it, bounced off the point of control. Now we're trying to bounce off the 382 and work our way up. Now, if I do a longer term extension, so from the bottom of COVID to the top to the bottom, we have this nice extension. So see this 382 we're battling with, the 236 and the 382 up here are real pretty. If I do both of these extensions, well, that's a little messy, but let's look at a retracement. We've got some commonalities here. So I do like these extension lines. So I think this is a good early goal here. And then we can see if we can break this channel. So this would be a zone where people unload shares. We can see if that's something that we're going to break. And then let's move on to our other charts. So this is a monthly parabolic SAR and super trend, and everything's bullish. You can see our RSI is in a downward trend. Our squeeze momentum is in a downward trend, and our MACD is in a downward trend on the monthly. If I go to the weekly, so I've got a buy and a sell, so we've got mixed signals. We've got an RSI that's trying to turn up, And it's kind of like a double bottom here on the RSI. It's the same bottom, maybe a triple bottom. Our squeeze momentum, you could say this is becoming, less bearish and more bullish. And we kind of have a double bottom here on the MACD. On the day, now we've got two buy signals. We've got a indecisive candle here for the day. You can see we have a positive uptrend from oversold on the RSI, crossing over the 50 into positive territory. Our squeeze momentum is looking real strong. And the MACD has crossed over and is in an overall rising trend, but our histograms are getting weaker. If I look at, RSI Bollinger Strategy, I like to see more data than this. Not much of a chart. But on the monthly, money flow looks like it's trying to make its way up. Stochastic, if I look at the blue line, we are getting higher lows, and the average is looking to turn up, and the ADX is pretty low. All right, here we go. So on the weekly, we've touched the bottom of this Bollinger Band, and now we're on top of the moving average and fighting with it right now. But this is gotten a lot narrower, so I'm expecting to see something happen. Money flow is generally trending up. Our stochastic is trending up, and our ADX is threatening to throw a trend, but it's got to keep moving up. So it got pretty low down here, indicating this is going to be a reversal of the trend, which it looks like it may be right here. And finally, if I look at the day, we broke down below the Bollinger Band, and again, we're fighting with the moving average. The money flow index is pretty high, but turning down. Same with the stochastic. This is a nice upward trend. This is a nice upward trend. And our ADX is trying to break over 20. So all in all, I think this is an interesting investment with dividends. But the most important thing is keeping an eye, I think, on this candle. And if we can get over the midpoint, this should be a pretty good setup on the monthly. And we should revert to the mean. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. Talk to you later.